everybody. My name is Doreen Tendo from Austin 101 Realties. Very happy that we were able to have Thomas Yu, the very experienced commercial investor, to come back to talk to us more about why invest in commercial real estate. Hey, Thomas, can you talk to us a little bit more?
So why commercial real estate investment is my preference is, first of all, I think last time we touched on the number of being a multiple units for commercial real estate. It reduces the risk of low occupancy. So maintaining a stable occupancy allows you to have a stable cash flow stream. Compared to just a single family home or condo or a townhouse, if your tenant move out, immediately you will be looking at 0% occupancy for a month, maybe two. Whereas with commercial real estate, because you have multiple units, when one tenant move out, you're still able to maintain a high occupancy, still generating a positive cash flow, and and at the meantime, while you're doing the make ready for the vacant unit, your operation is still very healthy. So I think that's the main reason I prefer commercial real estate investment.
Okay, yeah. Can you tell us a little bit besides, try to look at the renter situation, and what other factors you think you can, as an investor, you can really have more control on your return of on your ROI and some other areas, or the time frame, how long would you need to put your money in, and the exit strategies, all of this?
Okay, well, I think there's multiple parts to your question, and it's a very good question. With real estate in general, obviously the market trend is a big factor. Today is actually a good example. This morning China came out with the tariff on auto industry, followed by Donald Trump stating, encouraging all American companies to leave China immediately.
Such a big news that is going to affect, the relationship between China and US so much.
Right, and obviously this is a global event, and it's going to impact global economy. Yep. So sooner or later, most likely US will also be impacted. So when this happens, it's very difficult to say, how the real estate market in general is going to be, right? So a lot of the real estate is depending on the global economy as well. So if I remember going back to the 2008, 2009 timeframe, when the economy was tanking, real estate was crashing. I found that at the time, my rentals, the rental lease amount, the rent amount actually increased because the number of renters increased. The demand for rental properties actually went up. With apartment complexes, I'm sure it depends. There are different level of commercial real estate investment. There are the office, there are the multifamily, there are the retail type of commercial. Yep. What I focus on residential apartments. And within the apartments, there are different levels of categories. There are the Class A, there are the Class B, and the Class C. So my preference is investing in the Class C apartments. These are targeting lower income families, and there are high demands in this area too. So in each category, there are different clientele that you focus on. With the lower income families, what I found is there's always high demand. the supplies are becoming less
Mhm.
because no builders are building new apartments for for Class C. They're not targeting for Class C. Yes,
Correct.
there are new constructions that target for that has a quota for low income families, but in general, those rents are still relatively high.
Mhm.
So um, so I tend to look for Class C apartments with value add opportunities,
Mhm.
and I found that first of all the supply and demand is very favorable. There's high demand and reducing supply,
Actually,
and
Thomas, I'm sorry, can I interrupt you? Can you explain a little bit the differences? What's Class C, Class B, and Class A? Because some people they are just new in this commercial real estate, and they are not sure what do you mean by CBA. Can you
okay.
identify or clarify a little bit more on that?
Okay, well, I think if you drive around, for example, in Austin or any big major cities, you see a lot of new apartments going up, a lot of mixed-use type of apartments, and these are generally Class A. These are very luxury, a lot of amenities that the apartment might offer a gym, very nice swimming pool, a great facility.
Yep.
Obviously the rent for these apartments are very high, typically very high. A Class B, I would say these are very stable type of apartments that may be 20 or 30 years old. They're typically fairly large community. The price range for these are somewhat affordable, for general public. And I would say the average is probably the Class B.
Yeah.
The Class C are many times you'll be driving by, you probably don't even pay attention. Seeing it, if you do pay attention to it, you probably wonder why the property looks terrible, and so these are the type of and as a matter of fact, there are Class D. Class D, you're probably looking at mobile home trailer parks and things like that. And the location of these apartments are very important as well. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for clarifying the ABCD. Yeah, different labels. Yeah. Okay. So back to our questions just now. We were talking about how you're going to control as an investor. How commercial real estate definitely will have more room, or will have more control factors compared with residential. Residential need to look at the whole pictures of what's the whole city, or what's the whole big area of real estate trend, the market. And just now you were mentioning about have more control factors that you can decrease some expenses or increase some of the incomes, and you will be able to have some exit strategies. Can you just share this area with us a little bit more?
Sure. And again, with real estate, with typical residential properties, single family homes, for example, like you said, it's very city dependent. Location is a big factor, right? But the price of a single family home is very dependent on your neighbors, your surrounding area, your surrounding areas, right? So let's say if you're in a neighborhood, the houses are selling in the 300,000s. It does take time to increase that value to become 400,000, and it depends on the market situation. Right? So the valuation of the price is really out of your control. It's really market dependent. Whereas a commercial property, it's basically a business. So how you run a business, if you run a business, if you're able to generate revenue, increase your revenue, reduce your cost, your profit is going to increase. the valuation of a commercial property is based on how much profit that you can generate from this business. Okay, so if and in this term, the profit is equivalent to your net operating income. Right? How much net operating income you can generate? If you can raise the rent slightly, if you can control your expenses or reduce your expenses, your operating expenses, your net income will increase. Your net operating income will increase. And the cap rate, when you calculate the cap rate based on your net operating income, that's how you determine the value of the property. So if you're operating this apartment complex very efficiently, you're keeping the cost low, you're generating good revenue, good rental income, then your value, there will be investors that will buy your property at a higher price. So that's more controllable. You can control how much rent you want to increase. You can control how much expenses if you operate it efficiently. And these are the big factors and the big benefits of commercial investment.
Okay, but I want to bring up some points again, because we do both. We do a lot of residential and commercial, and I want to say, like, the commercial real estate or apartment buildings, multifamilies, are most of the time are for experienced investors. So if you are first time or you want to play safe, you don't want to involve with too much of the factors or too much of risk here and there, maybe your first choice will still consider about residential real estate. That's for a lot of people, they think it is safer. It is something more stable, and they can control a little bit more. So it's not so as an investor, definitely you can have choices for residential and commercial, and it's also based on your budget and also your personality and how to manage your profile, your real estate profile as well. But for a lot of experienced investors, definitely commercial real estate is your next step up higher game, or the areas that you can look into or get yourself more educated, or to partnership with some people who are more experienced. Yep.
Right. So with commercial investment, there are multiple ways that you can be involved or get into. Obviously the most straightforward way is to invest by yourself. Look for a property and just invest it and run it yourself. The other ways are you can find someone with experience and become a partner. You can either join as a general partner, or you can become a limited partner. Buying a share of the property. There are other ways that you can invest in a commercial real estate by becoming equity. There's equity partners, or you can even become a first lien holder by lending money to the group. And with a fixed return. So there are different ways that you can be involved in commercial investment.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, that's a great information. Okay, probably we will have a different time to talk about, so this time we'll focus on why invest in commercial real estate, maybe on a different time. Then we're going to talk about how to invest, or how to get in, or how to start, or how to invest in the commercial real estate. Okay?
All right, great.
Okay, so thank you so much for your time, Thomas, and definitely we are going to come back to to have more of your time to share about different different kind of real estate investment with us next time. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, bye bye.
Bye.